Hey guys, this is Chrome. Welcome to Promo Look At. These are basic videos that I do for tabletop gaming. Without further ado, today's promo we're going to be looking at is for Don't Mess with Cthulhu, the deluxe edition. A game by Yusuke Satos? I hope I said his name right. Not sorry for butchering it. Indie board and cards. So, promo we're going to be looking at is an advertisement with that in there in a fast-playing social deduction game with secret identities. So basically, as you guys can see, it's the same as these. So we're going to be looking at is the double agent, as it says right there. So basically it just says how to use this token to set up, add this promo character token to the investigator and cultist rules. When you are dealt this token, reveal it. Then if there was both an investigator and a cultist token not used during setup, take those two tokens and choose one as your role. Discard the other secretly. If both tokens are not available, secretly look at the character tokens not dealt to the players and choose one as your role. Discard any other secretly. So the promo we're going to be looking at, which I just popped off, is this double agent promo, which is the character on the main board, and it is one of the characters on the investigator side. So basically with this character, as you guys can see, it has a cultist and it has a, where's my cultist? And an elder shine. So you basically get to be an investigator or a cultist as you get to choose from. So, well, when it's distributed randomly. So one thing you need to know is, another thing is she's wearing the cultist outfit with her detective suit underneath, as you guys can see right here. Instead of having the manogram flying glass, she has a flashlight and a cultist book. So that's basically the only little difference besides the background scenery, where it could be red, or she's like in the mansion section right down here. So that's pretty cool. And anything else? And she's facing that way but looking to the left, and this girl's facing that way but looking to the right. So that's pretty cool. Like, they made it seem like she's looking at the mirror. So what are you going to do with this promo? This promo is going to be distributed randomly with this. So I would recommend, if you're going to use this promo, make sure you look at the rulebook so you guys can see what's the player count. So with the 7 player count, I'm just going to remove this one because it's going to just say just have 5 investigators and 3 cultists, which I have in here already. So what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle these at random. I will highly recommend removing one before adding this character, and then reshuffle this again. Oops. So you guys can just select this at a random. So in this 7-player game, this is the one over there, you're going to just basically say this one's out, and then you're going to look at your roles secretly, and this is the person. So when you look at your role secretly, you're going to reveal this card automatically. So you reveal it to everybody. And what you're going to do is you're going to get the pile that nobody selected from and the one you just removed, because it's not in the ruling, but this makes it so much more easier and better. So when you look to see who you're going to be, you're just going to basically, hopefully you get a hand like this where you get to say, hey, I can be the cultist or investigator. So I know the max cultists are in the board, or I can be an investigator and be the max is also there. So I can just say, choose to actually be with the cultist or be with the investigator, and it's really up to you which side you like to be and which side you like to play. So with this, then you just secretly say, I'm going to select this, and then this one secretly goes back to the box with that character, and that's pretty much how you're going to use this. Now the double-edged sword to this is you can draw basically 2 investigators, and you know the cultists are there, and it's going to suck that you're going to be like, oh well, I'm going to be an investigator regardless. Or it can be like this, and you know there's only one more cultist out there, so you're going to basically be playing the game by yourself with another cultist. So you're going to have to do who's your other partner, and with the max investigator. So it does have its double-edged sword. So, but if you do get just this hand right off the bat, it is fun. Now there is a chance that you're not going to deal this card. So you saw how I basically gave everybody their role, and here it is, and I just put it there. So when everybody everybody's going to look at their characters, they're going to notice there is no double agent. So the double agent might have a chance of not appearing. Very rare, but it probably might not appear. Because, like I said, I recommend you guys just shuffle these up together. Not together, but leave it out. This is the one that's not in the game, if it's a 7-player game. And then remove one just automatically, and then shuffle this up. And then add this, and then reshuffle it. Because the problem with this card is that it adds another card. So if you just remove them too, let's just say right off the bat, and you don't know what they are, you're going to just deal this. So it kind of kills the game, because you might just remove all the cultists from the game, except for one, which kind of sucked. And that was like a little tiny problem with when I first used it. It was just not working well. So I just recommend removing one and then remove another one once the deck is dealt. So that's my recommendation. That you don't have to. You just can say, all right, well, I'm going to just add all of these and then shuffle it up, and then just basically select from what I want, because this one is not going to be available. Now, with 8 players, this card does not work. I will say that right off the bat, because you are dealing all of these, and you can just shuffle it in with them, and then there's going to be just one card not going to be selected, and you're automatically going to be that character no matter what. So it kind of just doesn't work when it comes to 8 players. Now, with other lower player count, it can work a little bit better, because you get to basically see what characters are available or not. So you can either say there could be two detectives or 2 cultists, or it can just be the cool hand where you get the investigator and the detective. So it's really like, and where can we stand? Now, the cool thing is about this promo, which I really do like, is that it has a selection. So basically you can select what you want to be, if you're a cultist or you're going to be an investigator. Sometimes you don't. You're just going to be the cultist or the investigator. So it has that little negative effect. But if it's in between, that's where it shines the most. Now, the cool thing is about this is that you get to deduce how many people are on the board. So if you basically got that hand where I just showed you, it's like this, then you know for a fact that you're going to have investigators and cultists, and you're going to be the max level of the investigators or the cultists joining the group. So you can say, you know what, let's have this cult friendly, or you say, you know what, I want to try to win by being a detective. So you get to deduce and know how many people are on the board. Now, if it came like this, you still know now we have more cultists, or if it popped up like this, then you'll be like, oh, okay, well, there's still more. There's only one cultist, so should I really, now it's just going to be me and that other cultist. So it does really tell you what's in the field when it comes to the players, and who's kind of who in a way. So that's the only thing. Now, how is this available? Can I still get my hands on it? And will I recommend it? Now, it's still, it is not available the original method. It actually was released with the Kickstarter for Season 2 of Man vs. Meeple back in 2018. And that's how basically this promo was given out. And it was the only way to get it. Now, it's still available, but in the geek market, which I will leave in the description below of if you guys want to check out more on the BGG site on it, and then it will automatically link the people who are selling it from the geek market, which is people like you and me, and it sells around $5. That's how much I noticed. Now, I'm not going to say Euro, US, or Canadian money, because that's what I noticed. Depending on where you are, you might want it a little faster or whatever. That's how much I noticed it. So it's like around $5. Now, considering shipping and all that stuff, you're going to pay around $10. I'm going to just say that. So depending on how you want to get it. Now, is it really worth it? Do I highly recommend it? Now, with 8 players, I don't recommend this double agent. With low player counts, 4 to 7, I'm going to say this is where it shines the most. It does not shine with 8 players. So if you are always playing this game with 8 players, it does not shine. It's not a good card, because automatically you're just going to be dealt whatever random card was not dealt, and that's just kind of blah. With 7 players being the max for this, it is a very good card. Now, if they did have one more card extra for 8 players that's not dealt with, I would recommend this more for all player counts. But it does not shine for 8 players. It only shines at 4 to 7, just like the rule book says. So I would just recommend using this card from 4 to 7 players. Now, 7 players is, 7 players is where it shines the most. 4, it might shine a little less. 5, it's still gonna be a little but it's really up to you and how many players you guys really do play. Now, I do like the promo. I think it brings a little flavor to the game. Now, there is chances that you might not see it come through. And especially with the method what I told you guys, just remove 1 and then add this and then reshuffle the deck. That's how I recommend, and that's the ruling that this should have had for the character, because then if you can then choose and say, oh, okay, well, I know the cultists are going to be less than the investigators, and I'm automatically going to choose the cultists, or I'm automatically going to choose the investigators. So it has its little double-edged sword. But if you were to get this is where it shines the most, like I said, when you get to basically choose between the cultists and the investigators. Other than that, it's really up to you guys. Now, if you do play this game, Don't Mess with Cthulhu, let us know in the comments below. Should you really get the double agent promo for your Don't Mess with Cthulhu game? Well, the deluxe edition. It does work with the original. That's not deluxe, but I didn't play that one, so I don't know 100% know. But let everybody know in the comments below if you recommend it for the original Don't Mess with Cthulhu, or do you just recommend that you should only get it for the deluxe edition. Let us know in the comments below. Or don't waste your money. It's not worth it. I mean, it's just adding a little tiny bit of a flavor to the game, which might not be great. It might not be, or it might be awesome depending on the situation you're playing. So my recommendation, if you do play it at 7 players, 4 to 7 players, and that's pretty much where you're always standing, I highly recommend it. If you're always playing at max players, don't bother with this promo. It's just a waste of money. So with that being said, give this video a like, so I can continue making more videos just like this one, and maybe I'll make more videos of games that I have not really talked about promos for, just like this one. But with that being said, I got a special thanks for you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.